everybody. This is Kevin with Kevin's Corner, real estate from a marketing perspective. This is episode number 16. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. We do this every week. This week's going to be a little bit different because I'm only going to have one guest, which is the young lady sitting next to me. So what I always like to do first, I always like to thank my support, the people that allow me to do this, which is Jennifer Smitis, the area vice president, Caitlin Kornick, Devin, and Wendy Santana in the Richmond office. And I always also like to say that if you are an agent and you see this podcast, or you're a vendor in the area and you work with real estate agents and you want to be on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com, and I'll be more than happy to put you on the schedule for the podcast. In saying that, let's get this party started. So this young lady sitting next to me, her name is Yelena, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you all about herself. So say hi to Podcast Land.
Hey guys, how are you? My name is Yelena. I have been a realtor since...
What's your last name?
Oh God, it's so long, but it's Yelena Farzullayeva.
Spell it.
F as in Frank, Arzulllayeva. So just mix all the alphabet together and there you have it.
Go ahead and finish telling them what you do.
I have been doing real estate since 2015. I do commercial, residential, leasing, selling, buying, buyers. I decided in 2015 when my daughter turned 16, she got a car. So I was
I didn't know you had a daughter.
I have a 23-year-old.
Oh my God. This is all news to me.
So she turned 16, got a car, so she didn't need me to chauffeur her anymore. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why not do real estate? Everyone's always told me, you would be perfect in it. So I was like, okay, let me do it. And I love it.
Well, I've only known you for a few months or so, 6 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
She's already sent us one deal, so she must be doing a good job. Tell everybody where you're from. Because I can even imagine by her last name that she's not from Houston, Texas.
I'm not from Houston, Texas. I was born in Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
In a small town near Kiev.
Really?
Uh-huh. But I came to America when I was 4 years old.
4.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been here ever since?
I've been here ever since,
Is
yes.
Houston the first place you came when you got here?
No, so we moved to Kentucky for maybe a year.
Really?
I don't know why.
I spent a whole year in Kentucky one night.
In Louisville, Kentucky.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And then we moved to LA. So I lived in LA all the way up until 2007. Really? In 2007, I came to Houston, and I've been here since and do not want to go back.
Yeah, right now, you couldn't. I've been to California many
It's
times,
sad.
But there's no reason to stay there.
It's not what it used to be.
No.
It's definitely not.
So tell everybody, you said you wanted to be in real estate, mm-hmm. and you love it. Mm-hmm. Why? Why did you want to be in real estate?
Because I'm a real people person, and when someone can trust you with such a transaction, it just feels so good to make someone so happy. And you see them at the closing table and they are so grateful. And I just love seeing people happy like that. That's what it does for me.
Yeah, it's kind of like people ask me all the time, you work in title, so what do you do? I help agents grow their business.
Right.
I don't close the contracts. The ladies in the office close the contracts. I help you guys build and grow your business.
Yep.
And that's what makes me happy. That's why I do what I do. People ask me if I enjoy it. I'm like, sure, of course I enjoy it, because if someone can learn from me and it makes their business better, they're going to turn around in most cases and reciprocate, which helps me grow my business.
Yep.
So, what you told everybody what type of agent you are. Where do you? What part of town are you the expert? Do you like to work in?
Honestly, I don't get too picky. I'll do Katy, Sugarland, Missouri City. I've gone all the way up to Magnolia, Tomball. I actually have a few deals right now in Dallas trying to get them closed hopefully next week.
Really? Mm-hmm. How does that work? Do you have to go up to Dallas?
I do, but it's okay because it's someone that it was actually a previous client that sold with me here in spring. And then he moved for work to Dallas. So he trusted me enough to help him out there. So we're in the middle of trying to get his house sold and then contingency on buying his new house. So keeping my fingers crossed for that.
Awesome. So what if a real estate agent, if a real estate client was to meet you for the first time and say, hey, I need help with real estate, regardless if it's buy, sell, lease, invest, or whatever, what would be one or two first questions you'd ask them?
I kind of like to it's so weird because I get so close with my clients that sometimes we end up being friends. A lot of times at the end, it's
not be friends with her.
I know, right? No, but I try to get with them on a level where they're comfortable. I don't ask them I don't go too far into, are you pre-approved? That's not my first question. I want them to know me and feel comfortable with me, and I want to get to know them as well. Once we're talking, I can explain how the process goes and, say, okay, I have some lenders that you can work with, or if you'd like, you can use your own bank. And I just kind of help them, guide them, from the beginning.
What if they come to you and they want to buy, but after your conversations with them, it's obvious that they're not going to be able to get approved right now? Do you help them figure out how to get that?
Yes. I work with lenders. If it's a credit issue, it's okay. It can take 6 months, 3 months. I have a client right now. It took he was at 660 credit score and he's at 715 now. And that took a couple months with the lender working with him. And we're in the process of buying a house.
Awesome.
So yeah, I don't mind helping them, as long as they give me that opportunity to try to get them.
What do you tell people that tell you today that I don't want to buy a house right now because interest rates are too high?
I think people forget that COVID was a different time. I don't think it's ever going to be like that.
No.
Back in the days, I remember when I was growing up, it was 15, 18%. When I bought my first house in 2007, this is with excellent credit. I had 2 loans. I had a loan at 6 point something, I believe, and my second loan was at 8.5. No idea why. And this is with good credit. So whatever we're in today, it's not that bad. It could be worse.
Hey, I'm in the same house I bought when I bought it in 2004. In 2004, when I bought it in 2004, my interest rate was 12.
Really?
Yeah. So, when people say, well, interest rates are too high today, I'm like, no, they're not. They're nowhere near where they could be.
I kind of joke around with them and be like, well, what's your credit card interest rate? You're still using 25? It, right? Exactly, 25.
25.99.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is a good time to buy because you're still putting equity and money into your pocket instead of if you're renting.
The only negative about today right now is the limited inventory, and home prices are still relatively inflated. My home that I live in it's only a 1,200 square foot 3.2. I paid $91 for it. Before COVID, it was worth 170 something thousand. It's now worth 215,000. And it's like, how does a home of that size get that high? So, and then at the same time, you have to battle the new builders.
Yes.
Because they're basically giving their houses away. I talked to a builder that said he was willing to sell homes and give the buyers $10,000 at closing.
I'm under contract right now, and I asked the seller to give me $10,000, and I got it. I was like, oh, yeah, I got it. I was like, ooh, okay.
So, if you're on a first-time home buyers program, you can buy a house today that won't cost you a penny.
I had one client come to the closing table once with $0.
Really?
0.
Yeah, but what was his house payment?
Ooh, gosh. This was a while ago.
It still had to be high.
Not as high, I think, as it would be today, though.
Wow. Okay. So this podcast is about real estate, but it's also about marketing. So let's talk about marketing a little bit. How do, other than word of mouth or referral, how do you get your leads?
Honestly, a lot does have to do with referral. But I try to stay on social media, YouTube channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I don't only incorporate work. I want them to get to know me. So on TikTok, I'll do a funny video, with my clients' kids or whatever, just so they can feel me out. So it's not always business. That's
Right.
just not how, yeah.
Well, you and I I started coaching you for a little bit. I don't know why you don't do it anymore, but we'll talk about that later.
We will.
But that's one of the things that I teach agents is in this business, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. They can't know, like, and trust you if they don't see you.
I mean, have you seen my TikTok videos lately?
I actually have not.
You should check it out.
I'm not on TikTok.
You're not on TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok. I like Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I don't do the TikTok or the Snapchat or anything like that.
No.
No. Now, if it works for you, it works for you. But
I had one of my clients, he's in his early 30s, and he's like, why do you do such boring videos? I'm like, what? He's like, you need to shake it a little bit on your videos. I was like, what?
It's not that kind of video.
I'm like, he's like, you'll see all the young people will come flocking to you. And I was like, okay.
Thanks for the advice.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I guess that's what people want to see. They just want to see you doing different things besides, oh, this is a house. Let's do a video of a house.
See the real Yelena.
Exactly.
And so, I teach agents to when they do videos and they brand themselves, to come up with something about them that's unique, that most of, if not any of the other agents in the city of Houston can also claim. Now, one of the things that I would suggest for you, which I don't know if you already do it or not, but you're from Ukraine, so you probably speak more than one language.
Yes.
Okay, so my recommendation would be, because you're not the only Ukrainian in Houston, to do your marketing also in your native language.
So I have a client right now, Russian, Ukrainian,
They're all the same.
I mean, yes. I was born there, but I don't even speak the language. I speak Russian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't speak Ukrainian. Okay. No.
And the Russian, this is getting off topic, but the Russian language is a completely different alphabet. Is that correct?
I think it's a different alphabet, but there's some words that some Russians can understand in Ukrainian.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I meant a completely different alphabet.
I think
from English.
Oh yeah, completely
That's
different.
what I thought.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So
You can explain it to me today.
I do have a Russian clients, but sometimes it's a little bit harder to explain more difficult words. So, but I do work with the Russians and
Do
Ukrainians.
you do any of your marketing in Russian?
No, I don't, but it's not a bad idea.
No.
I just have to know what I'm writing and reading
$1
then.
million idea.
I know. We're going to work on that.
There you go. No, I just think if you can speak Russian, then use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
It's a proven fact that ethnicities like to stick together.
Yes.
So if I was, Chinese or Asian, I'd probably feel more comfortable doing business with other Asian people. So Russian, whatever. So you should take advantage of that.
True. I try to join groups like Russian Moms or Russian Houston, on Facebook. So I'm always, if anybody's asking who's a realtor or whatever, I always try to put my stuff out there. And I actually had a Russian lady. She has a house here in Houston, but she lives in Dallas. She reached out to me yesterday if I can list her house. So she saw me somewhere on one of the Russian groups.
Sweet. So that means another contract.
I keep my fingers
For me?
crossed.
Really? Really?
Only you.
Only me. Only me.
Only.
What else, other than that you're already doing for marketing now, what are some of the things that you think you might want to try in the future, marketing-wise?
You mean standing under the bridge with water bottles and saying, looking for clients?
that's a desperate way to do it, but that's not what I meant.
It's thinking outside of the box.
It is thinking outside
Okay.
the box. I mean, you're on this podcast, and
Right?
you didn't want to do it
No, I sure don't.
when you walked in. What about, Google My Business, Facebook ads?
I have Google.
Networking, of course. Do you do any of that?
I used to do a lot more networking before when I first started. I should probably get more into it.
You don't ever come to my happy hour, Adam.
I know, I don't. I'm scared to get.
It was last night.
I know, I saw pictures. I'm going to try next month.
What about farming?
Farming, I do door knocking.
Okay, but farming. Do you even know what farming is?
Yeah, when you farm in your neighborhood,
Okay.
yes.
But so what's involved in farming?
Information stuff. You can either do door knocking, you can do, what is it called? Monthly mail outs, monthly events for the neighborhood.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's really important that a lot of agents don't realize is go research and look up all of the mom and pop businesses other than
Around.
yours that are around that area.
Yes. And like them on Facebook.
Like them on Facebook, look them up, see how long they've been in business. Go buy a bag of donuts and go see them one morning and say, hey, my name is Yelena. I'm the local realtor in this neighborhood. I'd love to work with you on some marketing things. You've been here for 20 years. That's impressive. Show me how you did it. It works. I mean, believe me, it works. I mean, you can leave your cards or your flyer or whatever in their dry cleaners or in their store or whatever, and someone's going to call you.
I've done videos before I've walked into businesses and I've done videos of their shop and I've explained a little bit about, where I'm at. So I've done that as well, like just to give them a little bit of a boost.
The other thing that I tell agents they should do, and I don't know if we've had this conversation, and I don't know if there's any Russian or Ukrainian organizations here that you could help, but one of the things that I recommend agents do is find a local charitable organization that means something to them.
Mm-hmm.
Contact the charitable organization, tell them who you are. I'm Yelena. I'm with Yelena Real Estate Group here in Houston, and I'd like to use you guys as my company's charitable organization of choice. Then, with partners like me and other real estate agents and your broker, set up a charitable event once a quarter or once every 6 months. Get the neighborhood involved. Get donations. Get a room full of non-perishable items they need. Maybe a monetary donation or whatever. Then you call the charitable organization and say, hey, this is Yelena. You're my charitable organization of choice for my company. I've got 2,000 pounds worth of non-perishable goods to give to you guys and a check for $1,200 or whatever.
That would be amazing.
Well, schedule it with them. Go down there, present them with the checks, present them with the goods, spend a couple hours at the organization, take pictures, take video. Not only does it show that you're giving back to the community, but guess what it also does? You post all them pictures and video all over your marketing. Now the world gets to see that. Other people of Russian descent or Ukrainian descent see that, and they're like, oh, call her for our house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Believe me, it works, because I did it, and when I was in property management,
Mm-hmm.
we gave to our charitable organization was Camp Hope.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did a quarterly thing, and I also created a program to where if a lead contacted us and would meet with one of our salespeople to discuss property management, they didn't even have to hire us. They just met with us. And I donated, or the company donated $5 in their name for a meal to help feed a veteran at Camp Hope. I did that over a quarterly period, so 3 months. We had 300 meetings. 300 times 5 is $1,500. The company wrote me a check for $1,500.
Right.
Called Camp Hope, says I got $1,500
Nice.
to donate to you. Went down there, spent the day there, volunteered for 4 hours, took pictures and video. You would be shocked at how well that works.
Nice.
Because if you're, this is why I want you to use your Russian background or Ukrainian background, because if somebody's moving from out of the country to the United States, to this area of the country, and they found you and they found 1 or 2 or 3 other agents online.
Mm-hmm. I would stand
They
out
have-
more.
Well, hang on. They haven't told you that they're also Russian or they also like Camp Hope, or they also love puppies, or whatever it is that you choose. And all three agents that they're looking at are basically all equal. But what you don't know is that your charitable organization is Camp Hope, and they just got honorably discharged from the military. Guess who they're going to call first?
Yep, me.
How much does that cost? Nothing.
Nothing.
Just some of your time. So there are hundreds of ways that you can generate leads. You just need to do it. It doesn't take that long. And there's hundreds of charitable organizations in town. So, but I really would like to see you do. It's double work, but you speak the language. Do all your marketing twice in 2 different languages.
I think you're right.
To have 2 different social media platforms for every platform. Have a website that can be translated into Russian by a click of a button. All your videos, you do a 2-minute video on what the difference is between a FHA and a conventional loan in English, and then do it again in Russian. You'd be surprised.
I'll have to work on my Russian a little bit more.
Well, it's double work, but
that's okay.
It gives you twice the opportunity to get leads. Okay, and then you can also or do the video in English and then have the transcribe the video and have it translated into Russian.
Okay.
And then just post the text of the video with the English version. All I'm saying is that I'm not trying to call you on the podcast. I just think you're missing huge opportunities. What's unique about you is that you're from Ukraine and you speak Russian. And so far, you're not taking advantage of that, and I think you really should.
Well, then I will.
Yes.
Then I will now.
She's got a lot of homework.
I know, God. Don't give me anxiety.
She's like,
no.
I didn't realize this was going to happen, Kevin.
It's okay. Off the podcast.
Yeah, the podcast will never end. So, who's your broker?
Worth Clark Realty.
Awesome. Where are they, and how long have they been around?
They've been around for a while. We don't really have an office.
It's a virtual? Okay.
So they're kind of in different states.
Oh, okay. And why did you join their brokerage?
Because I was in Dallas. I was working up in Dallas a lot, and I needed a local broker there to get to know agents, and they're, they do contracts a little bit different too. They might need some extra forms. So I thought I would get to know other agents and maybe join a team or something. And I came across someone, and I met agents in Dallas as well.
Would you recommend them to other?
I do. Yeah. There's a couple agents.
You're happy there?
At Worth Clark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you wanted the podcast world to know one thing about Yelena as far as your real estate career and how you handle clients and what everybody should know about you, what would that be?
I have a lot of patience, and I love to guide people, especially first-time home buyers who have no idea what they're doing, what to do. I'm literally there from beginning to end and after.
Wow.
Love to help.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah, I feel I'm I love this job. I love it.
When she's off camera, guys, she's a completely different person. So
I'm going to cry.
I'll have to be a client one day and see the other side.
No, I will fight for you. I'm trust me, I will fight for you.
That's good. So have you ever had any situations to where you just couldn't help a client?
Gosh, no. Honestly, if they're willing to take that time and do as the lender tells them to do and what I ask them to do, we'll get there. Sooner or later, we'll get there.
In your opinion, is it possible for anybody to be a homeowner?
If you can pay $2,500 in rent, as it is today, you can be a homeowner. You just need to learn how to save right and, just do your homework and let us help you.
For What's the percentage that people have to put down now?
Like 3%, 3.5%.
Is
There's
that
FHA loans.
what about conventional?
You can do like a 5% down. I have someone who's putting a lot more down right now, but there's different programs. There's first-time home buyer programs. There's different ways.
Do you know any lenders that offer a no money down program?
A no money down, no, but I can try to find someone.
I got a contact for you. Ask me after the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No money down.
Awesome. So tell everybody, give them your phone number and your email, and tell them all the social media platforms you're on.
Yelena Farzullayeva. My phone number is 832-622-9953. My email is YelenaRealtor1@gmail.com. I have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Snapchat. What else? I don't know. I have a lot.
Apparently you have most of them.
I have a lot.
Yeah.
So everything.
Do you use them regularly?
I try. Sometimes I don't have time.
Wow. It only takes a couple minutes to post to social media.
I know. You're the king of it. I see it all the time.
I know. 3 times a day.
Who has time for
Morning-
that?
Everybody. Morning, afternoon, and evening.
I know. You told me that.
If it only takes 2 minutes a day, then why is it such a big deal?
Because you have to practice.
Yes, which is what you are not doing right now.
I know. I've been slacking on my videos.
You can't slack.
I'm getting there.
Marketing is about consistency.
I know you're right.
It's not about how good your marketing is. It's about how often you do it. You got to be in people's faces.
I do.
If you're not in people's faces in any number of ways, how do you expect for the phone to ring?
You're right.
She's agreeing with me, people, on the podcast.
Just wait.
I love this.
Just wait.
Tell everybody how to get a hold of you one more time.
832-622-9953.
And your email?
YelenaRealtor1@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you guys need a real estate agent, especially if you speak Russian, I recommend Yelena. I've known her for a few months now. Delightful young lady. And apparently she does a good job. She's closed here before, so she's going to close here again.
Of course.
Yelena, give her a call. I am your host for Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. This is episode number 16. I always have to thank, at the end of the podcast, my support, which is Jennifer Smitis, the Area Vice President, Caitlin Kornek, Devin, and Wendy Santana. And once again, if you're seeing this podcast and you're a real estate agent and you want another platform to promote yourself like Yelena did today, or you're a vendor that works with real estate agents, please reach out to me, 832-654-0527 or kevin.davison@stewart.com. Until next week, you guys have an awesome weekend. Say goodbye, Yelena.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.